Hey everyone, I had someone recently ask they use Foundry to do the spellcasting for Mage the Awakening, so I thought I'd do a video to explain and maybe help some other people. So today we are going to look at the current caster is someone named Astra, who is capable of Prime 3, Spirit 4, and they're an Overmost, so Prime is their ruling, and we'll kind of go over the factors. Now, as you can see here on the screen, I've kind of broken the spellcasting thing into small fragments so we can look at different things. The first thing we're going to do is look at spell details. And spell details are going to basically tell the program what they're doing. Now, if there's a road or a praxis and it's under their spell list, you can click on the picture and it'll already fill some of this in. So, say we want to bind a spirit to a location. That's a Spirit 4 effect. So we're going to hit Spirit 4. It's going to do some changes. It's going to be level 4. And you're going to notice as it goes up, the reach down here is going to drop, because you get one free reach plus one for every above the arcana. So right now it's a reach of 1. Yantra dice. You can use multiple Yantra up to your Gnosis to generate extra dice, and this number can go up and up and up, but it will never give you a bonus of more than 5. Like we put 9 in, they originally had 10, it only dropped to 15. But if you start bringing the spell factors up, it'll eat up the negatives first before adding. Make sense? Next is Dice Mod. For the most part, we don't use this unless you're spending a willpower for the campaigns I've run. Now, there are ways to bring this up beside that, and will give you 3, so we'll add 3 dice here. If you know what you're resisting, you can put the Withstand in here. Like a lot of spells withstand with Resolve or Rank or something like that, and you can put that in, and that tells you how much potency you need to get, because you need at least one more potency than Withstand for it to have any effect. If it's a Praxis, or if it's a rote, or if it's a nerd, self-designed, all these things can have effects. If you have a grimoire you're studying from, yeah. And you'll notice this area here, the dice pool, reach, and mana, this is kind of automated. So your dice pool shows how many dice you have. Right now, because we're spending will, have a stupid amount of yantras, though it may not be that high depending on the bonuses. Fate mages can get quite high, but there are other yantras. I'm going to do a separate video for yantras, so don't worry about that too much in this. All right, we go to our spell factors next thing. Now, as you can see, we get 3, bringing the withstand back down to 0. We get, and bring the yantra to a reasonable level at 2. We get free potency of 4. That means we can go up to 4 without changing our dice pool. Now, for every 2 we go up, our dice pool loses 2. That again, if the yantras are over, you're not going to see much change. Turn, same thing. The longer the durations, the more dice it takes, 2 per factor. Same with scale. Casting time, if you're doing a ritual, for every casting time you can add 1 to the dice. This will let you go above your usual cap of yantra dice, much like willpower, and it's automatically added to your dice pool when you bring it up. Now, intervals change based on your gnosis. The more powerful gnosis, the less intervals you need. Range, touch or aimed. So at this level, it needs to be touched or aimed. Now, all this can be changed. You'll see these little boxes, they cost reach. So, for example, Astra has 1 free safe reach. You can always overreach. So, if we want to cast it in a second, casting time. If we don't want to touch the person or throw the spell, advanced. And we can even go to a remote if need be, which is another reach on top of that. So if you're looking through a scrying portal or some other remote way of viewing them, you can attempt it that way. Scale also jumps the scale, so we see 1, 2, 4. Advanced starts at 5, 10, 20, 40. This is how you affect large areas. Duration, we start 1 turn. Go advanced, starts at a scene. So days, weeks, years, even up to indefinite, as long as you're holding the spell. Advanced makes it harder to dispel. Increased withstand against being taken away. And all this, as you're building up and overreaching, you'll build up paradox. Now, speaking of paradox, we go over here. For every spell that's rolled paradox, not succeeded, just rolled, even a chance die and a scene, you click this up 1. So it could slowly ramp up very quickly. If there's any witnesses, you click on that. And what this does is going to give 10 agains and so on, and the more witnesses there are. Mana spent. You can spend mana to reduce paradox, but only down to a chance die. Also, every mage has 1 dedicated tool, at least one tool. This tool is attuned to your soul. it also reduces paradox. If you're using it, click this box, your paradox drops by 2. Now, if there's some abyssal muckery or other Celesti stuff, sometimes you use paradox mod to up or down the paradox. This also, even bringing it below, will still only bring it to a chance dice, or more likely in the abyssal fight, it's going to bring it up for some reason. Characters may not always know what this is. And once that's done, we cast the spell. That will roll it in our chat. It'll come up with the whole thing if it's seed not. It'll add the active spells button. That will obviously add it to your active spells, which go back to the magic tab on your character sheet until you release it. And I hope that has cleared some things up. If there's any questions, feel free to ask me or put in the comments below. Remember, your questions may be other people's questions as well. But with that, I hope this has helped people. Watch for the Yantra video. I will do my best to try and put it somewhere on maybe the comments or the description once it's done, or even over here. If I can figure out how to do that, it should be appearing. If not, well, I am still learning video editing. It is not my forte. But with that, I hope this has helped people out, and everyone have a good day. Thank you for coming out.